Namaste. Divine and devil. Who and what are we? That is the question. Are we fundamentally the divine or the devil? And what do we become? Meaning, as a being, are we the divine? And on the becoming, what are we? Devil or divine? I would say both. Both. Fundamentally, we are both. Basically, we are both. The divine as well as the devil. Because both exist within us. It is an intrinsic nature, the quality or the essence of the mind, either to go towards divinity or towards the devil. The reason being, first, in the absence of one, the other exists. Like in the absence of light, darkness exists. And the cause for that is that the mind is designed in such a manner that it can function only in duality. Only in duality. Meaning good, bad, positive, negative, light, dark, happiness, sadness, etc., etc. Mind has to relate to its opposite for us to choose from one to another. That is how the mind functions. And that too, for its self-preservation in selfishness. Over thousands of years of evolution, selfishness is creeping up more and more. So our choices are very much tilted. Very much tilted. So, mind is designed in such a manner. We can't help it. In duality. So the choice is ours. Either we go towards divinity or we go towards the devil. There is no doubt. There is no doubt that potentially we are that limitless. We have that limitless intelligence of divinity within us. We have that limitless. It's only because of us. The divine, the noun divine exists, not the adjective. The noun divine exists. It's because of the soul containing the divine intelligence within. So it's because of that the potentiality is there, the limitless power is there within the soul. But once from the superconscious section, which is the soul, the conscious and the subconscious takes over, mind gets limited. Mind gets limited. Going more towards materialism for its comfort, for its identification, for its attachments, feelings, emotions, and whatnot. So, this limitless intelligence for which we are considered as that art thou, that divine within, that Shivoham within, that Tattvam Asi within, all these signify that we are the ultimate as living creatures. It is because of us everything exists. It is because of us. And because of our conceptualization, there is God, there is this universe. There are the stars, there are the planets. Every single factor that we perceive and conceive and experience and infer is because of this divine intelligence within us. So what brings us down? Knowing the divine is different from its application. So the application or the experiencing becomes very important. We falter in our experiencing because of our selfish choices. So, irrespective of whether we have the knowledge of the divine or the knowledge of the devil, or the feelings of the divine or the feelings of the devil, or the understanding of the divine and the understanding of the devil, it is how we apply, how we experience life. If we experience life more towards materialism and less towards spiritualism, then there is more of the devilish nature in us rather than the divine nature. So, between this and that, the choice is ours. How we transcend, how we transform from one to another entirely depends upon us. Entirely. So, hence, both the factors are in our potentiality. Both the factors is in our ability. It all depends on us. Yes. Since the mind is designed for duality, we can never be 100% divine. Nor can we be 100% the devil. There will always be in our devilish nature some divinity, some divine feelings within us, and vice versa. How we balance the two, or how we try to become better in our divinity rather than in our devilish nature, depends entirely upon us. So how do we apply our intelligence in a righteous manner? In the Rig Veda, it is very beautifully said, the four purusharthas of life: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha, meaning dharma meaning righteously, artha meaning economic prosperity, kama meaning satisfying sexual or sensuous desires, and moksha meaning liberation from the mind, from all the lust and greed, identification and attachments. So these are the four requisites of life. Righteously, they were very smart in using the first word as righteously. Now what do you mean by righteously? Righteously means how to utilize our consciousness to go towards the higher, that is the divine, and less towards the devil. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Step by step. We have to increase our awareness in order to make our mind aware. And after that, if we are attentive, if we are focused, if we are centralized, if we are single-pointed towards any factor, that is how we experience, consciously and later on subconsciously. So, in this dualistic nature, if we are constantly watching our thoughts, our feelings, the way our mind flows constantly from one moment to the next, without any constraint of time and space. And we handle the circumstances, we apply and we exercise and we engage in our circumstances, whether favorable or unfavorable, whether our desires are strong in whichever direction. But if we are constantly watching, our mind becomes conscious, and the moment it becomes conscious, we evolve. Because no human being, no meaning, by and large, no one wants to become the devil. We all, in our heart of hearts, we want that peace and tranquility which comes from the divine nature. So watch and witness your mind constantly. How the thoughts are flowing. It's called looking or perceiving your inner self. And that is what the subject of spiritualism is. Through the spirit, via the soul, become that witnesser. The soul is the individual superconscious section of the mind. Become that witnesser. To witness your mind on the witnessed, on the objective. The subject is the witness. Witnessing through mind. Through the witnesser, the soul, the pure consciousness. To evolve the mind from its lower consciousness towards higher consciousness. And by doing that, we create a certain mindset. And that mindset is the established attitude which we have within us when we subconsciously go in any direction. If the mindset is towards the divine, our acts will be in divinity. And if the mindset is towards established mindset, meaning the established attitudes are towards the devil, we'll be devilish in our nature. So we have to be very cautious, constantly watch, so that we are not excessively attached to our identity, to our attachment. Neither are we obsessive towards either the divine or the devil. Why? Because we can't attain 100%. So why even think about becoming the divine? No, divine as a noun, not as an adjective, not as a verb. In verb, it will be a divinity. In adjective, it will be describing our nature. And as a noun, divine will be as that being. And in physical, body and mind, we cannot be the divine 100%. So we have to transform in such a manner that through our divinity, through the application, through the experiencing of our nature, to go towards the divine. Reach as far as possible, realize as far as possible. And the result will be that we'll have peace of mind, we'll have tranquility, we'll have contentment, we'll have gratitude, thankfulness, we'll have appreciation, we'll appreciate others. There'll be so many positive factors to balance a normal average mind which is 80% negative. So please try to understand both the divine and the devil and make all attempts to create such a mindset that you go in your acts of divinity towards the divine. Thank you very much for listening.